Hey Kelly, welcome to Algebra 100, lesson 110. This may look like a crazy lesson. Let me get to it because it has like a bazillion examples, right? I thought I was at it, but I was at 101. My gosh. Let me see. It looks crazy because it has 6 examples, but those examples aren't hard, okay? They're really not. And honestly, I love this lesson because it's a bunch of like canceling stuff out, which I think is fun to do. Okay, so look, what you're gonna do here, it says solve for y, okay? The way that you can solve for y easily is by getting rid of these denominators. You don't wanna be working with fractions, you wanna get rid of those, okay? How do you do that? You find the common denominator between all 3 fractions in the problem, and then cancel the stuff you can cancel. What I mean is this. Look, what is the least common denominator between 2, 4, and 6? Like if you were going to add all those up, what would your denominator be? It would be 12, right? 2, 4, and 6, the smallest number that they can all go into is 12. So I'm going to put 12 up here. 12 up here, Kelly, is going to be telling me that I'm multiplying this number 12 by this fraction right here. Well, when you do that, you just divide the 12 and the 2, right? Trust me on that, okay? I'll show you what I mean. Look, if I'm multiplying 12 times y over 2, what are you going to do? You're going to divide this 2 and make this 6, right? It's the same thing you do over here. Divide this 2 and make this 6. Divide this 4 and make this 3. And don't forget about this one over here. We always forget about the one on the other side of the equal sign. Divide this 6 and make this 2. Now rewrite your equation. You're left with 6y plus 3 equals 2y, okay? Don't forget about the stuff on the numerator that you did not cancel, okay? And then you're going to solve for y very, very easily. You're going to move the 6 over here, 6y. So you're going to have a 3 equals negative 4y, right? Negative 4y. And then you're going to divide by negative 4, divide by negative 4. So your answer is negative 3/4. Okay? It was scaring me because there's like a huge explanation in the answer, and I'm like, am I doing this wrong? But no, they just explain some stuff that doesn't really matter. Okay? Look at this one. Let's erase the one on the top so it doesn't look too sloppy and hard to follow. Okay, here we go. What would be the common denominator between t, 3t, and 3? It would be 3t, okay? Because you're taking the factors of all of these things. So it's going to be 3t up here. Also, when I see this t minus 2, I'm going to put this in parentheses so I remember not to separate it. Put 3t right here, put 3t right here. Okay, now I'm going to write some stuff up here. I'm going to move it this way. Okay, I'm going to cancel out my t's here, and you're left with 3 times t is 3t. Minus 3 times 2 is 6. Equals, cancel my 3t, because there's nothing left, and then cancel my 3, and you're left with minus t. Okay? I would imagine it'd be good for you to do this with me to make sure that you see why I'm canceling things and if it makes a lot of sense, okay? I'm going to try to use a darker color here. Okay, so then I'm going to move my t over here, add my t, it'll be 4t, and add my 6 over here, 20. So t equals 5. Okay? T equals 5. Okay, let's look at example 3 and 4. There's not going to be much change, but they're giving you every possible example and way that you're going to see the problem. Okay, so let's do number 3. Okay, on this one, you're obviously not going to multiply over here because everything's going to be times 0. So I'm going to put my parentheses around here so I can remember that those things do not get separated. So your least common denominator is going to be n plus 2 times 5. So I'm going to put 5 times n plus 2. Don't distribute that yet because that's really going to throw you off. 5 times n plus 2, 5 times n plus 2. Okay, what can you cancel out? You can cancel out your n plus 2 and you're left with 5n. minus, cancel out your 5, and you're left with 3n. Now be careful, Kelly. It's negative 3 times n, which is negative 3n, and negative 3 times 2, which is negative 6. Don't forget to carry that negative on every one that you multiply. And then you're left with 0. So you're going to move the 6 over here, and 5n minus 3n is 2n, so n equals 3. Okay? N equals 3. Now, Kelly, when you have an n or an x or a y on the bottom, it's very important that you look at this 3 and say, okay, 3 plus 2. If I put that 3 into there, is that going to make that 0? No. But if it does make it 0, then your answer is no solution, okay, because it doesn't check well. I don't know if they're going to give you any of those right now, but if you ever do see a no solution, you're like, but no, I really got a legitimate number. Go back and see if it made a 0 in your denominator when you're supposed to check it, and if it does, that means that's why. I don't know if they do that in Algebra 1 or just in Algebra 2, but we just had it a couple weeks ago. Okay, let's look at example 4. Okay, I'm going to put my parentheses around here so I don't forget that that's just a factor together. And my least common denominator is going to be 3n times n plus 4. 3n times n plus 4. Okay, so I cancel out 3n, and I'm left with 2n plus 8 minus, don't forget this negative, cancel out my n plus 4, and it's negative 2 times 3n, which is 6n, equals 0. I move the negative 8 over here. 2 minus negative 6 is, 2 minus 6 is negative 4n, so n equals 2. Okay? I have it in my denominator. Well, 3 times 2 does not equal 0, and 2 plus 4 does not equal 0, so you're good to go. Okay? Look at number 5. Over x minus 7x minus 2 equals 0. Okay, so we put our common denominator as x times x minus 2. You'll be tempted to say that it's just x and negative 2, but you cannot separate these when they are formed with a plus or minus in the middle of them. So it's x times x minus 2. That's your least common denominator. Okay, so we cancel. It's going to be 4x minus 8 minus, cancel this, 7x equals 0. We put the 8 over here, that's 8. 4x minus negative 7. 4x minus 7 is going to give you negative 3x, so your answer is going to be negative 8 over 3. Weird answer, but that's what it is. None of those are going to give you a 0 in your denominator, so you're good to go. Okay? Let's look at number 6. Your least common denominator is going to be p times p minus 4 after I put the parentheses around there. Cancel, it's going to be 4p minus 16 minus, this is going to just be 3p equals 0. 4p minus 3p is going to give you p equals 16. And there is your answer. Okay? Go ahead and do your practice, and I'll come back and show you what the answers were. Okay, letter A is easy, letter B is a weird answer, but letter A is t equals 5, letter B is y equals 24 over 13. Here's how I did it. Okay, I should have put this in parentheses. My least common denominator for this one is t times t minus 3, so I put that up here. I canceled out the t's here, and I was left with 5 times t minus 3, which is 5 times t, and 5 times negative 3, 5t minus 15. Minus, I cancel out my t minus 3, and I'm left with t, so it's 2t. I combine my t's, it's 3t equals 15 when I pass it over there, so 15 divided by 3 is 5. Over here, my least common denominator is y times y minus 3. You cancel out your y, so you're left with 8 times y minus 3, which is 8y minus 24. Plus 5y, because you cancel out your y minus 3, so you're left with just y. Okay, combine my y's, it's 13. And then I moved the 24 over, so it was 13y equals 24, so it's 24 over 13. Okay? Strange one, but that's how it goes. Okay, that's your lesson for today, Kelly. Let me know if you need any help. A lot of it is just about processing the information. Okay? Like, look at number 8, though. I do want to show you number 8. The common denominator for number 8 is going to be 5p. Okay, because your factors are p, 5, p, and 5, right? Okay, so don't get confused on that one. It's not 25p squared or anything like that. It's just 5p. Because once you find the factors, then you only have to find the maximum number that you see them together. Okay, not apart from each other. Okay, thanks. Have a great day. Bye.